We have such sights to show you, or at least tell you about, on this episode of a podcast from beneath. I'm here with Billy.
How's it going?
And Eric. I'm here with Billy.
How's it going?
Eric. I'm getting like really
How's
bad.
it going?
I'm getting like a really bad.
It's a going.
What's going on? What's happening?
Are you guys getting a delay also?
There's a little bit of like stutteriness.
I don't hear any more now.
All right.
Was it because I complained about it? Fuck his Skype. Fuck.
So before we get on with the feature here, I'd like to give a shout out to our first Patreon member.
Oh yeah.
The Poe and Grimm Podcast have donated to Patreon. So big
these
shout out to them.
guys, they spoil us.
Yeah, I know. And if you would like
They're too
to
good to this.
have your name
So-
right on the show, you can also donate some money at our Patreon.
We gotta send them. We gotta send them a care package.
Yeah.
I got a box of mac and cheese with their name on it. So that's from me to you.
I got some bottled water.
That's like a meal. We're feeding these people.
Yeah.
And a
Just
box
for,
cutter.
I've still got some
To
Christmas,
open
I still
the
got some
box.
Christmas candy left over, so
No, you have to ration that out until you get some Valentine's Day candy.
Oh,
And a half-eaten Hillshire Farm sausage.
with pocket lint on it. No, but yeah, so you can go onto our Patreon and donate some money. We'll give you a shout out on the show, and there's always bonus material on there you can listen to. And I guess the only thing I want to mention too is like we're going to move our release date of new episodes to Wednesday. So new episodes will be coming out every Wednesday. That'll give us
when
more.
Will we record on Sunday now?
No, we can still record on Friday. It'll just give me more days to edit. That way I'm not trying to rush to edit. And some days to just promote it and get it out there.
Yeah.
And it will also give me time to not rush and make those beautiful little thumbnails for everybody.
There you go.
Because I come home at work at like 11 o'clock, I'm like, oh shit! And I'm just like...
And then I get a picture, it's just a stick figure with the name of the movie on.
Yeah.
No, but I figured Wednesday will be a good day to release new episodes.
Excellent.
So, Hellraiser, 1987. Billy, what are your thoughts on this movie?
This movie was one of the first that really creeped me out. That I've had dreams about the cenobites, and they fucking freak me out. They're so creepy looking. They just looking at them make me feel uneasy when I was younger. They still kind of creep me out, but this movie is and I don't know what to say about it. It's just the special effects, just like the story, and how Clive Barker came up with this. It's just ridiculous, but it's so good.
I gotta agree with the special effects. They're actually quite phenomenal. Like that little bit where Frank was kind of regenerating in the first time. It
Oh yeah,
was
when
a
it starts
goofy
off with which
and-
is just a goo, and then you see like the bones coming together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was like some reverse photography. It was all practicals. It was just fun and creative. Like, I'm just like, oh, that's effort. Good for them. All right. It's,
What about you,
So
Carrie?
I enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorites. But do you think that because it came out in '87,
Yeah.
do you think that it came out just at the right time to be different from all the other slasher movies?
it's not really a slasher movie though.
That's what I'm
Per
saying.
se.
That's what I'm saying. It came out at a time when it was just slasher movies, and then you have this hits, and it's like completely different from your Nightmare on Elm Streets and your Friday 13th. Do you think that's what makes it a memorable movie?
It's definitely out of left field, like comparatively.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Like,
You don't have like a presence of something looming all the time. It's not like a Terminator film where there's just like a completely invincible, unstoppable thing moving forward the whole time.
yeah. Like, and just they're called cenobites. They're only here to like give you pleasure, but like their pleasures are like torturing you.
Well, one
You gotta be
person's
some
trash is another
kinky
person's
son of a bitch.
treasure.
You gotta be some kinky son of a bitch to like.
This movie is actually a documentary about the Clive Barker's Friday Nights.
Yeah.
Actually, the Pinhead is on the cover. Pinhead is synonymous with the series, but Pinhead and the Cenobites don't show up until almost exactly an hour into the movie.
Yeah, they're definitely not the main part of the movie. And they're saying in the first one, it's more about Frank
How
and
he escaped.
Julia.
Yeah, like the first half of this movie is just like, I don't know, it's like a woman's tale of what she would go through just to get some good dick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's legitimately what it is.
I should have married the younger brother.
I would say that's what the if you think about it, that's why the Cenobites are there, because of the
Promiscuousness.
Because Frank is kinky as fuck.
But I would say they could kind of be like I can't think of the word.
like an extension of his over sexuality kind of thing.
Yeah, and then her
Kind of like
you know,
Pyramid Head and Silent Hill too.
yeah, and she, of course, she was the cheating wife, and that's kind of what brings the hell to them.
That's what happens, ladies. You cheat on your guy, and you get stabbed in the gut.
Cenobite.
Brought to
I
you
didn't
by
know
our
this was
new,
based off a book. Like,
Yeah, I think it was just a short story in his Books of Blood.
it's called The Hellbound Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, in the book, Pinhead was actually a female character.
Huh. I wonder why they changed it. I
Oh,
wonder why,
progressive.
Clive Barker changed it.
There wasn't a Me Too movement yet.
Oh. Oh.
It could have
Really?
just been down to like casting. They probably had a casting call somewhere in England, and Doug Bradley knocked it out of the park.
It could be.
Or the producer's like, if you don't pick a man, you're not getting this made.
But I know he's in talks of remaking it. Clive
It's been
Barker
that way
is.
for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, but I think the rights were tied up with that other company.
Well, see,
And I
that's
think
what,
that's why
what
they
do.
rushed that last movie out. But I think
Yeah,
he's
that's why
finally. I
there's
think he's
9
finally
fucking
getting them back.
sequels.
Yeah, I think he's finally getting it back, and I've heard that when and if he actually does remake it, he's going back to the female Pinhead.
He's only did 2 movies. He's done Hellraiser and Nightbreed. Those are the only movies he's ever directed.
I think he had a video game too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just like randomly. It's like the same time when Ang Lee made that Stranglehold game. I think
Oh,
Clive
yeah.
Barker farted out a game too, just because he could.
Have y'all read any of Clive Barker's stuff?
Oh yeah, I've read the I think I read because the Books of Blood I think was 2 or 3 books. I read a
Uh-huh.
couple. I read a couple of stories out of those.
My
There's another
girlfriend's.
one. My favorite one of his though is called The Thief of Always.
Uh,
And it's kind of like a children's book, but it's more morbid.
yeah, what's called a thief?
The Thief of Always.
The girlfriend, she's got the Scarlet Gospels. Clive Barker. I don't know if it's any good or not. I think she's read it all. I think she's read the help. She's also got the Hellbound Heart too. I always kind of wanted to read it.
Yeah, he also directed that Lord of Illusions.
Did he direct it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that was with Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
Hey. Nobody mentioned Quantum Leap.
I love Quantum Leap.
Oh boy.
Work the shaft.
but what if? So, what do you think about the music or the score in Hellraiser?
I thought it was really good.
I actually didn't notice anything striking. Like it served purpose. It wasn't too memorable to me.
One thing that always got me about this movie was, and I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but
Yeah.
they never, that obviously they don't really tell you where they're at location wise, but for some reason it always felt like when you watch it that it's taking place like in England or some small English town somewhere.
Because of the house, right?
The house,
what's her name is super English.
Yeah. I
and
guess
when they like
the pet
and
store,
when,
just that area, it just seemed
yeah.
That piano guy just eats the crickets.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm just wondering, it probably actually takes place in New York or something.
I guess, but I agree. It definitely feels like England, especially when what's her name's like running away from the house after stealing the box. She has like a moment of reflection. You can kind of see the surroundings, and it just looks like where they filmed Train Spotting. So
Yeah.
I thought the father looked creepy. He was like a wuss when he cut his hand. Oh, I can't look at it.
That scene gets me every when that nail scrapes the top of his hand.
Oh yeah,
that scene always got me.
He wasn't the only one that got nailed.
Yeah. Hey, out of this, what movie? Oh, I think you said the nail part already gets you. Is there another what's the most memorable scene for you for this movie? Or a scene that you like the most?
It's either got to be, was it Frank's the brother, right?
Yeah, the younger brother.
Yeah, it's either when he starts to regenerate, like we talked about before, or the end whenever they pull him apart with the with the chains and the hooks.
At the end, he says,
"Yeah, it's like
Jesus wept."
Yeah, they're like pulling his skin's all stretching, and
I feel like that line's kind of reaching. Nobody's gonna fucking say that as their last words. I'd be like, ah!
No matter how evil they are. But yeah, you brought up the homeless man eating the crickets too. I never understood what that guy was supposed to have been in the story.
Homeless guy eating crickets.
No, the first thing I thought of was like
back up at the end. Though. He's like I guess he because at the end of the movie when the house burns down, remember he walks into the fire and gets the box and turns into like a gigantic bat and flies away.
Yeah, he's like some demon dragon or whatever.
He's Jesus, man. Jesus.
He stuck his hand in the fire and he wept.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Frank,
that was the only part of the movie I didn't.
future.
That kind of didn't make sense to me.
Maybe it was like a setup for a sequel that never happened.
I actually prefer the sequel.
Homeless Joe and the Demon Dragon.
Yeah.
He summons the demons. He's like, "You think you can make my life worse than it already is?"
You got change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakes a cup at him.
His hell is like people giving him change and he can't grab it. No. Yeah, Hellraiser always. I remember having like nightmares about them. Even to like this day, like I remember a couple years ago, or like a year or two ago, I had a dream about them. They still creep me the fuck out.
Is this your favorite one of all of the Hellraiser movies?
I like the second one.
Turns out the second one is the one that I saw forever ago. Never saw the first one, turns out. That always happens. Like, I think I've told Bill about, like, my situation with Army of Darkness. We'll probably get to that on, like, a later episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I think two was really... Of course, two, I guess it was a continuation.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the daughter, Christy, is in the institution.
Yeah. She meets the other girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought because they kind of showed you a backstory of Pinhead and stuff. But yeah, that's my favorite. Third one, can't really remember too much, but I remember one of the cenobites really creeping me out. I think he's
third
like,
one, I think, is the third one. It wasn't. I didn't really care for it as much.
Yeah,
It's
it was
the
Hell
one
on
where
Earth. Yeah.
it's the one where he turns like those other people into cenobites. You have the guy there's like a DJ, so he shoots compact discs out of his mouth.
I think that's the one that creeped me out.
Yeah.
It's so timely though. That would never get old.
And then you have like the cameraman, and he had like I think a lens in his eye, but I don't know what he did to kill people. But
He's just recording them while they're taking a shit. No, don't post this.
yeah.
all great. So you have like Pinhead, DJ, and Polaroid all out and about.
Yeah, and then they just go down. I mean, it's like downhill. I don't know. I guess obviously it went. Obviously you finally get to like Hellraiser in space. I don't remember which one that was though.
Some of the best horror franchises ended up in space. So
I've never seen anything after 3.
But I think the best part about the one in space is it actually goes back and tells the story of the puzzle box and how it got created. And that was kind of interesting, but the movie wasn't all that great.
All right, in this one, did you ever have like a favorite Cenobite?
Got all the classics like Pinhead, Munchie, Sinead O'Connor. They're all there.
I always liked what's that? I'm trying to remember. I know they all had names eventually. Chatter, I think was his name.
Yeah, it's Chatters.
Yeah. And then the Butterball I'm pretty sure that's the big one.
Oh, was that his name? Because I was just like, man, there's got to be some gross name for that dude. It can't just be like obese or something like that.
What was his how did he kill people? He took off his glasses and they turned sharp or something. Is that how?
What?
Remember, he didn't even disappear like the other ones. He just had the house fall on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like he took off his glasses and he was about to stab that guy. It's like,
and the house was just like negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, Butterball, that was his name.
Nice.
He's a boxer now and goes by Butterbean.
Yeah. Butterbean. Almost killed Johnny Knoxville.
He was the one that was
Oops.
He was the one that was like kind of hiding in the corner whenever Christy walks in that room, and does he puke maggots or something out on her?
I don't know. I can't remember.
That's when the movie kind of turned into like your regular old horror movie.
Yeah.
And then the female, I think her name was Lady Cenobite. I think that was like her just name.
That's terrible. That's
Let
like
me
naming
see.
her Cheryl.
Yeah, Cheryl. Let's see. You know, the girl who played her in the first one didn't play her in the second one. I love
talking
how
about
Frank's name on here is Frank the Monster.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was trying to find
Oh, it just says female Cenobite.
I don't want to say lazy or anything,
yeah.
but
I thought she had like a different name eventually, because like I really did. Let's see. Lady I want to say it's Lady Cenobite, but let's see if she got renamed in the second one.
It's just female Cenobite.
Oh, just female Cenobite.
great. That'll sell some action figures.
Who do you look up to? Lady Cenobite. Who?
Whom?
Oh, I got a funny story for. All right, after I had seen Hellraiser for the first time, I was like in I think first grade, and I got in trouble by the teacher in first grade because I was trying to get some of my classmates to play Hellraiser. My teacher's probably like, "What the fuck is wrong with this four-eyed son of a bitch?" Man, trying to play a horror movie trying to play Hellraiser with the other kids. Freak.
What a fucking nerd.
Surprised I was weird. Just like, what the?
Yeah, see the in the Hellraiser Bloodline movie, there was another female Cenobite, but her name was Angelique.
Oh, she didn't have a cool name either. What the hell?
But she was like, I guess it's kind of like she was like one of the first ones to join Pinhead, and she was one of the ones that helped get the box created.
So it's like, but didn't the second one they said that they showed how Pinhead got? His name was like, what was his name supposed to be?
He was like a soldier.
Yeah, it was a soldier in the 1800s.
And he needed a more badass name than Terry, so he just drove some nails in his face.
Yeah. I love how they showed that in the second one. Oh, we'll do a review of the second one. We'll talk more about it. What about the creature in the first one? Like when she first goes into like their lair, the Cenobites, when she first opens it, and that thing chases her.
Oh yeah, that little that wacky looking thing. Kind of looked like a gallbladder with a face.
Yeah, it looked like somebody's insides.
Was that on the first one or the second one? Whenever
First one.
she's in. Let's say, I remember on the second one when she's in that institution and like the wall opens up.
The same crack in the wall from City of the Dead, by the way.
Yeah.
The first
and that
one.
thing
Remember?
comes chasing out.
No, it's the first one too. Because at the end, when she thinks they're safe, he opens that door. Thing comes to the front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was an awkward scene. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was called the engineer.
Yeah, her noise and like the look on her face didn't match up.
It was just weird how we're just kind of faffing about with the box on the floor.
Like her dead eyes, its face, hands moving, dead eyes, the creature's face, the hands.
Haha, good print. Got it. Woo. Call it a day, boys.
Yeah, that thing was called the engineer.
Oh, how come that stupid thing you saw for like 4 seconds has a cooler name than Lady Cenobite?
Yeah, that's like that.
Fuck.
Fucked up.
Could have called like Cenobitch or something. I don't know.
Call her Mrs. Open Throat.
Or excuse me,
it
miss.
says right
Your
here
neck
that
looks like a Virginia.
yeah, it says right here that like Pinhead, the makeup artist nicknamed the female Cenobite as well. She was given the name Deep Throat, although unlike Pinhead, the name didn't stick since the higher up thought it was too sexually explicit. So her name stayed female Cenobite.
That was too sexually explicit, and there's literally like a semi-rape scene in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like some incest.
Congratulations.
Come to daddy. Come to daddy.
That's
No,
weird.
but that's okay. It's me, Frank. Come to daddy. Creepy fucking uncle. You never really see most of. Well, I don't know if a lot of those people in the first movie still act. I know the guy that's Pinhead and them. I know they. I mean,
Doug
they
Bradley.
did. But like the non-Cenobites, like the girl that played Kirsty.
I know. Yeah, Ashley Laurence. Yeah, she was in one of the later Hellraiser movies also.
Play the same character.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did they kill her?
I can't tell you because it'll be a spoiler.
That was like Dream Warriors, where she just pops up.
She was in. Wait, what?
But I want to say the guy that played her dad, I want to say he's been in a bunch of other things.
Oh, you mean not Liam Neeson? Perfect.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, I was just uncomfortably just like, that's not Liam Neeson, is it? No, it's not.
Oh my god! There's so many Hellraisers. This is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's like 10 of them or something.
There's actually a new one that just came out on Netflix that I was going to watch, but I haven't yet. But I think it's more of like a, yeah, I think it's more of a fan film.
They need to stop this shit.
A guy that was a makeup artist on like part 3.
Yeah, he directed
It
it.
was like assistant director on something. He wrote it, but I haven't watched it yet. I'm thinking about checking it out.
I wonder if like
there's a Hellraiser called Hellraiser Deader.
Yeah. There's one that I can't remember what it's called, but it's about these kids are playing a Hellraiser video game, and it like they get brought into the game or something.
Oh
stupid.
yeah, that's Hellraiser 4 Modern Warfare. I've seen
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Hellraiser Hellworld.
Is that
Yeah,
the video game?
gamers playing a MMORPG based on the Hellraiser films find their lives. Oh my god.
I think there's a pretty big actor in that too. That was like a big actor now. That was like one of his first.
Eric Roberts. Oh.
Oh, Lance Henriksen.
No.
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
really? Superman.
Yeah.
Who also starred in my favorite movie of 2018, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Justice League.
Oh my god. I've divorced myself from anything DC related when it comes to movies. They're all trash. Wonder Woman is fine.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's really good. They just need to DC needs to stick to animated cartoons. I don't know why I said animated cartoons, but they need to stick to animation because their animated movies are really good, and the TV shows are good too.
I feel like they just need new management.
Who did the special effects for Hellraiser?
Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
It was Frank.
Yeah.
His name is Hellraiser. He's gonna raise some hell. Starring Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Can I get a hell yeah?
We have so much to show you. Hell yeah! Chugs a beer.
Yeah, he like claps them together. Chug,
Yeah.
chug, chug.
Let's go to hell. Show me these sights. its budget was exactly $1 million, and it made
like 14 or something.
yeah.
I mean, that sounds like the perfect success on paper. Like, oh man, it's 1400% or whatever. But I feel like this is the kind of movie that made more money in video rentals or sales.
Oh, probably.
Because there's no way a movie coming out in '87 or whatever, making just 14 million, got this cult following from the theater. No way.
Yeah.
No way in hell. Take a drag off cigarette.
Yeah, they were the movie was supposed to have been called The Hellbound Heart.
Why did they
right
change
after
it,
the book. The studio decided that the title sounded too much like a romance.
It is kind of a romance.
Yeah.
So it's starring like Fabio with a bunch of pins in his face.
Yeah, that's who they originally said. No, we gotta change it, and we gotta lose Fabio. That's who did special effects. Let's see.
It's probably whoever's on hand.
Oh, hang on. It was Carrot Top. Let's see. The makeup. A lot of people did makeup. Damn, it's quite a bit of people.
Yeah, I feel like a movie with that small a budget, I feel like a lot of people in production had their hands in a lot of things just to get it going.
Oh, Cliff Wallace and Dave Chagori. Chagori. We only had one stunt double. I wonder what.
It was for the homeless man trying to eat the crickets.
The actor couldn't do it. Can't do it, man.
For a hot second, I thought he like dunked his hand in like the fish tank and grabbed something.
Do you think were those real live crickets? You think he ate them?
I'm sure they were.
Oh, he didn't eat anything. He just had them on his face and stuff and made a crunch sound. I'm sure.
Yeah, that was a real homeless guy. I'll eat some crickets. $10, sure.
Like, I don't know if it's just because of where we live, but like when I saw that guy, I was immediately just like frustrated. Like, oh, great, another crackhead. All right, here we go.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so originally, instead of saying Jesus wept, he was just supposed to say "fuck you."
Oh,
I would have laughed
Someone
super hard if he said that.
Yeah, someone convinced Clive Barker to change it.
Fuck you. You sold me out. You really can't really say much bad shit about this movie. This movie's pretty good.
Yeah. What'd you think about the
Okay.
What'd you think about the design of the box and how it worked, the puzzle box?
Maybe you want one.
Yeah, but never just keep on the shelf. Don't even touch it. Freak myself
Just in
out.
case it's real.
Yeah, freak myself out. What if it's real?
Oh, that's all you need. Your girlfriend shows up. It's like, hey, what's this? Start messing with it all over.
Slap it out of her hand. Get out! No, I mean, I'd probably creep myself out, like, don't touch it. Just throwing it away. No, I thought this is unique. That's how you summon him, is, you gotta solve it. What would be funny is somebody couldn't solve it.
Yeah.
Someone couldn't solve it, and they're like, you just hear a voice, just stop it. It's enough. This is taking you 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like a disgruntled couple, and the wife is just like, how the fuck do I do this? And it just cuts to like the husband with all of his fingers in like Chinese finger traps. I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, Lance Hendrickson was offered the role of Frank originally, but he turned it down, fearing that if the movie was successful, he would have to appear in a series of sequels, which he wasn't keen on.
Could have just said no.
But then he later appeared in a sequel, Hellraiser, Hellworld.
He also did sequels to Pumpkinhead, right?
Was he in part 2?
I haven't seen part 2 in forever. Let's say he was, but let's. I thought Julia in the second one, I thought she was beautiful.
Spoilers.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She still acts, yeah. She was in Ready Player One.
Aww.
Do you hate that movie?
It's the most bland thing I've ever seen.
Was she playing Julia in that? Was it
Yeah.
Was that like the Hellraiser Easter egg in the movie?
Hey, probably.
She played Miss Gilmore.
Like Happy Gilmore's mom?
Yeah, Happy Gilmore's mom.
Yeah, there wasn't a big cast on this movie. I mean,
it was like six people.
7, yeah.
You had like people at the party.
You had your main Larry and Frank and Julia and Christy, and then Christy's boyfriend, and then you had like all the victims that she would bring in.
Yeah, she had like 3.
Was she like it? Did like were they dating? I remember he's at that party and he does that cigarette trick, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to date this guy."
And then you had like the guys that were helping him move the mattress when he tore his hand open.
Oh yeah. Hey, you got a beer?
Hey, just the boys. Oh, your wife looked at me weird. Like she wanted to fuck.
I got the mattress right here, baby.
Hey, call us back any time.
He just never leaves.
Yeah.
He's just always there.
When'd your wife go fuck me, eh?
This is it's probably like some kind of heresy, but like this movie could have totally worked without Pinhead and the cenobites. Like it could have just been like some really dark movie about how some guy's trying to like come back from the dead by like making his I don't know what to call it.
Mistress.
Yeah, mistress like lure suitors back in and just like killing them.
Right.
Because it was pretty brutal to that one business dude that got like knocked in the chin and like his chin like separated or whatever. That was crazy. Yeah. I was like, fuck. He got hammered in the ass so hard he died from being hammered in the ass.
He got hammered in the ass because he got hammered in the ass.
Well, it wasn't like, I guess he kept saying that he was telling her he needed, I guess, blood or flesh so he could come back. But wasn't he also eating rats?
Yeah, but they can only regenerate you so much.
I don't even understand how that kind of worked towards the end, because like at the beginning when the guy's hand bled on the floor, it kind of like soaked into the wood. So okay, he's probably consuming that. Then later on, the guy that got knocked in the chin and stuff, he was visibly being eaten. But towards the end when she got stabbed and he was like taking her life force, he just kind of like
sucked her
gave
soul
her hickey.
out.
Yeah. So I'm just like, there's no rhyme or reason. So I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, and then he also didn't turn back into Frank. He had to steal Larry's skin, so he looks like Larry now.
And he sounds like him too, which I thought was like, how the fuck? How do you sound just like him? Which?
Actually, the more I think about it, maybe that was like a decision made later on. Maybe that actor he quit or something, because with it in my mind, like Frank when he spoke, it kind of sounded like it was ADR, like there's something pretty phony about it.
Right.
So maybe it was just like all re-recorded with that actor doing a voice, so it would match up later on.
Hey, what, baby? It's okay. It's like she had to know something was off because he acted when Frank became her father. He was acting like really weird. Like you're like something's up. I'm okay, baby. Come to daddy. And she knew.
Barf.
Yeah, and she knew she was screwed. But I love how she like kind of made a deal with them. They were like, "Fuck your deal. We're gonna take you too."
Well, they didn't promise anything, to which
Yeah.
I was just like, meh.
What'd he say? If no, fuck. What did he say? He said, "May I? Maybe." Is that what he said when she was like, take him instead? He's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, he almost turned into like a little child because she was like, oh yeah, Frank, the only one that got away. He's like, no.
Oh yeah, no one leaves us.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. Frank, whatever you said, doesn't ring a bell. But if you see him,
I've never even heard of Frank. So if I haven't heard of him, he's not even here. How would I lose him if he's not here? But yeah, this movie is pretty good. There's really nothing bad to say about this movie, really. And if it is, it's very minor.
Yeah, I guess if you want to be like, I guess you want to like nitpick it.
Yeah, like minor critiques. It's kind of cheap looking. TV lighting. I think this movie would benefit from better cinematography and better lighting. It's very evenly lit, and it kind of juxtaposes like the parts where like Frank's like walking down the stairs for the first time after he's like well enough to do so, and there's like a really fucking cool like eye lighting like at each level where he meets it.
Yeah.
So it has that like silhouette on his face. That's cool, but the rest of the movie looks really flat.
The special effects are pretty good. The makeup.
Special effects are good. I give it that for sure. Bring up the whole Frank coming back together bit. That was really cool.
Yeah, when the brain and the spinal cord just kind of shoot up out of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to originality, at that time, people, because it only made like 14 million, people was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's not a slasher. Pass.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like whenever it came out, it was so different than what we were getting over here. I think it made a big impact.
We loved it so much we keep stealing the license by pooping out sequels just to hold it hostage.
If it was popular once, it'll be popular 24 more times. But I like this movie. Like I said, cenobites creep me out. Like I said, they still kind of creep me out, but they definitely creep me out more when I was a young guy.
I think that was a detriment to this movie that I saw it a couple of days ago instead of when I was younger. Because in hindsight, they kind of didn't do anything but stand there and be menacing.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be like a little bit of a complaint. Like nothing really happened per se.
Yeah, I just wonder if maybe like if Pinhead would have been more menacing if he didn't talk.
If who didn't talk?
Pinhead.
He just like spoke, or he just did sign language.
Yeah. Or maybe it would have been more effective if it was just Pinhead. So that way you could have like an overlying just force or whatever Because it's like we get that there's like the whole torture sense and stuff, like you're just in this like hellish purgatory or whatever. But even though there were different cenobites, they didn't really have a role. Like they didn't do anything like special individually.
Yeah, especially Butterball. He like licked his lips and just stood there.
Yeah, that motherfucker didn't even have eyes, so like what's he doing?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, they didn't really represent anything in the movie.
We're here to intimidate you, but we're really pussies.
Yeah. Yeah, like Frank gets really mad, just like punches one. They're like, "Ow, what? Come on, guys."
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
One told me I was gonna get punched.
And of course, like, in the second one, there were other Cenobites, so it's almost like, where are they coming from?
I like how they show you how it's created. How the Cenobites get created.
Yeah, but it's not in this one.
And then, like, why didn't Frank turn into a Cenobite?
Maybe he was like, this guy's too much of a fucking freak.
It's called like that guy who just doesn't want to change his name. You have like Pinhead, Butterball, whatever. Then there's just Frank. Just Frank hanging out.
All he says is, "Come to daddy! Come to daddy!"
Nah. He's the pedophile.
No, I think the reason why Frank didn't become a Cenobite because they were to torture him. I guess they willingly have to be taken to place. That's not in the first one. You know how the doctor in the second one. Well, we'll get to eventually. But yeah, I think that's the reason why he didn't.
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to bring up the second one because whenever they show Pinhead's origin,
Yeah,
it was basically the same as Frank's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was looking for the box. He wanted to get it and open it up.
maybe that was like the beginning of the box, and they need someone to like what do they call Leviathan? Leviathan's like probably wanted someone to do the work for him, so he created Pinhead, and then he had him get like 4 followers, and then he stopped and he said, "Let's torture people."
Well, hopefully when someone's listening, they can tell us in the comments what we're missing here.
Yeah.
Because you can't really go by the movies because even in later movies, they kind of rewrite the history
lore.
of the box and, the Cenobites and all that. So
Nothing like a seasonal retconning to get things spiced up in the community.
But I would give Hellraiser probably 8 pretty goods.
That was 4, but I'll give it to you.
Oh, pretty good.
There you go.
yeah, I still enjoy it. I'm more interested to hear what Eric thinks since he just watched it and not didn't see it back when it came out.
Oh, like I said earlier, it was fine. Like it was entertaining. Like it didn't do anything for me. Like it didn't creep me out or anything.
Make you feel bored, right?
Yeah, it wasn't boring. Like I was just it wasn't boring, but it wasn't overly exciting. It was just enough to like get me by because I was curious. I was certainly curious. Because like I said, like for the first hour, like you don't see Pinhead, you don't see the Cenobites. I'm just like, well, how is this going to come into play? So that curiosity carried me through. And plus the makeup was really fun. Like Frank coming together, like in his stages and stuff.
Do you like this one or the second
It's all yucky. Well, I have memories of the second one. I remember that being kind of spooky. Like that was like a love of horror. That was like on the high end of things, like the high end of just like um, what is it? Shock factor, because it was so grotesque. Just because of then I'll just give it to the second one, even though I haven't seen it in forever. But that's not to say this isn't a bad movie. It's just, it's serviceable. I'll probably get some shit for that, but it's just a movie that I didn't catch when I was a kid.
Yeah, Hellraiser's not for everybody.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. I'm gonna have to say I probably like the second one more also.
There's more happening in it too.
And I'm also gonna say something that's probably gonna get some hate, but you guys may agree with me. But do you think do you think that character is overrated?
If you were to watch this by itself, yes. Like, if the sequels didn't exist, if it wasn't fleshed out into something a little bit more tangible, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm not sure when the popularity of Pinhead, really took off, but I think I think
it's just through like advertising.
Yeah, but I think that's the reason we had so many sequels was just hey, we need another Pinhead movie. That's what that's what a lot of people called them when I was growing up. They just called them the Pinhead movies.
Well, yeah, the same thing with like 90s. we need another Jason Voorhees movie. We need a Michael Myers movie. It's kind of the same thing. It's trying to like franchise it out.
I'd say early in the mid 90s is when he started getting popular.
Yeah, if you think about it, in this time, like, came out in 87, so like Nightmare on Elm Street and the Friday the 13th franchise are kind of like on their way out, quality-wise, anyways.
Yeah.
So like
they were still weird, making them, but
it's this weird late 80s, early 90s. There's no real like horror icon, so that's probably why he stuck out, because he was new, wasn't terrible,
Yeah, see, Hellraiser 2 came out the following year in 88.
Yeah.
So that's probably the movie that bumped it up, or bumped him up to the status that he is now.
Yeah,
and I like the
Hellraiser. I like the storyline. It was original and all that. But as far as like villains or horror icons, I would say Pinhead's not really at the top of my list, at least.
You know who I think's overrated? That Terrifier.
I like that, man. I watched that. I like that. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I like that character, but that was a decent movie for what it was.
I've never seen the movie, but I was saying, like, there's only been one movie and people are, like, freaking out. Like,
yeah,
he's the best. And it's like, no.
Well, they still.
What Pinhead has. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And I was gonna say what Pinhead has over, I guess, some other horror icons is that he's like visually appealing, like he's visually interesting. Like, you see this guy, and there's already just so much going on. Like, his name is his description, that kind of thing. Kind of like Leatherface, in a way.
Yeah.
Pinhead, Pencilhead.
Eraserhead.
Needle Dick. What if, like, it was just like a dick with a needle in it?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's the new Cenobite. The huge dick with the needle in it. His name is Needle Dick.
It just makes me think of Waterboy.
Needle Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Hellraiser, man. I mean, if he could do it better with more money.
See, that's the thing. I would be absolutely interested to see a retelling, not necessarily a remake, but a retelling. I did read a bunch of press of like how he wanted to, like you said earlier, be a little bit closer to the source material and a little darker, and not have the studio interference or anything.
Right.
Just his vision.
Yeah,
Let's say
I'd be
his
interested in that.
vision, and
Like,
let's say
unrestricted.
he can make it for $20 million.
Well, hell, we don't know what like 87, what $1 million is inflated to today. So
Right. But I don't know.
$100
Like
million.
again, the original movie, the look of it. I mean, I know you said the lighting was, but I'm just talking about the location and how it was. You know, well, we only had what 3 locations:
maybe,
the house, the pet store, and then like
maybe.
just an outside. So I
I
mean,
say maybe. I'll go ahead.
if he done it today, I think he could still stick with that. You know, smaller locations, and he wouldn't need as much money.
Yeah, you
True.
really don't need to really.
But
As long as he doesn't use CGI.
I don't think you would. No, if they're spending that little, might as well just like splurge on the thing that people are gonna enjoy the most.
Right.
The only reason why I said maybe about the 3 locations because you never really saw the exterior of the pet shop, so that could have been studio,
Yeah.
or even in the house, like in a big room.
Yeah. So if they do end up remaking it, and let's say Doug Bradley doesn't want to return as Pinhead, who would you get to play Pinhead?
If they want a woman, do Charlize Theron. She's great.
Charlize Theron. I'm going to go with. Tough one. Thought I had somebody, but he would be very good female.
Or what was that? What's that tall lady from the Game of Thrones and Star Wars?
I can't think
Oh, I
of
know
her
you're talking.
name.
Yeah, I can't think of her name.
Gwyneth or something. It's like Gwyneth or Christie or something like that.
Yeah, that could work. She's like 9 foot tall,
I say
intimidating.
the what's her name? Lupita. She was in Black Panther. She's in the upcoming movie Us by Jordan Peele. I think she'd play a good Pinhead.
What about Tilda Swinton?
Oh, Tilda Swinton definitely. She's a good character actress. Definitely.
So if they don't make it a female, let's say they make it a male again, who would you pick?
One of that Skarsgård guy played Pennywise.
Bryan Cranston.
Oh, that's, you know what? No, don't laugh. That's actually not bad.
You think he'd be a good Pinhead?
Did you
Why
ever see his
not?
mincing looks on Breaking Bad when he was bald?
He's got that brow look where he just looks through the top of his gaze.
All right. Well, that'll be our campaign then to get Bryan Cranston to be Pinhead in the next movie.
Bryan Cranston. What about you, Carrie? Who would you pick?
Idris Elba. I'll go with Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, I would campaign for him to be the new Bond too.
Oh, definitely. What about who would you pick, Eric?
Oh, I don't know. It's gotta be somebody with like a stature. Like Doug Bradley's a really tall guy. He has like broad shoulders, so you need somebody with a presence.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Damn it! I was actually thinking that too. he just walks in. Hey, everybody.
If you don't get the general insurance, I'm a fucking kid.
Great.
Yeah, she walks into the room. There's your Pinhead putting icy hot on.
Nice.
Beside him is a general with like pins in his face.
Or like those old PSA commercials or whatever. Like, don't be raping.
Yeah, definitely nothing I don't know, not a lot of bad I could say about the movie. We'll definitely have to do the other ones. I mean, there's a lot of them, so we may pick and choose. But I think when we get
No,
to
we're gonna do a good one. I'm not suffering through a fucking sequel that's gonna
We
be
gotta do.
trash.
We gotta do. All right, we gotta do another good one. It's a sequel, and then we gotta do one of the worst ones.
We'll do like a double feature one day, so we can compare and contrast.
yeah, we can start doing
like Hellraiser 2 versus Hellraiser Judgment or something.
Hellraiser Deader.
I can't
feel
believe
like
they, I
that's
still
such a
can't believe that
corporate
they
thing.
named it Deader.
That's such a, like a boardroom decision. It's like, how do you get more dead? like, you know,
You did it.
it's like that's kind of stupid, Steven, but it's a more dead.
What do you mean? I don't get it. They're deader. Oh yeah, I get it.
And then they clap like seals.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah.
deader is a word, but it just means one who is deceased or will shortly become so.
No, jeez. So that'll be our next podcast with what it's like to be deader. We'll just introduce these 3 corpses that we have here. So what do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, we'll definitely do some more of the Hellraiser franchise. A lot of them I'm really not looking forward to, though.
Let's just cut up the middle, man. We'll do 2 and a bad one.
Okay.
And we're fine. Like we don't have to sweat it. Okay, we're humans. We have limits. The audience will understand.
Yeah, so we'll do 2, and then we'll do the first one that didn't have Doug Bradley in it.
Oh, Judgment. Oh my
I
God,
think it was one
that
before that.
No,
No.
I want to say it was Judgment because they made not Judgment. Revelations.
Yeah.
Oh, they had that dude with like the fat cheeks on the cover. I was like, that's not Doug.
Now, Judgment. That guy didn't look too bad as Pinhead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to watch that one because it's on, I think, Netflix. Have you guys watched anything else recently?
I've been rewatching Breaking Bad.
I gotta do that. I'll reactivate my Netflix when Stranger Things season 3 farts out.
I need to finish it, but I was watching Bad Times Down. Well, yeah, I was only like 20 minutes in, and I went to bed.
I started watching The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
That's pretty
I,
good.
I
actually
didn't get
like
to
that.
finish it, so I'm going to finish it definitely.
That's the guy that did Troll Hunter. His name is Andreas something. You ever see Troll Hunter?
No.
Mm-mm.
Write
No,
it down.
last thing I
Both y'all.
remember-
Write it down.
Well, last thing I remember from the movie was like one of the last Fangoria covers before they like quit, then restart later on.
Y'all need to write that. Try to watch that movie one day. It's pretty good. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like shot in like camera style, like found footage kind of, but it's not found footage. It's like shot with a handheld camera.
Boy.
No, but I'm not a big fan of those movies. There's only a few movies I like.
All right. I'm gonna throw it out there right now. We gotta do found footage February.
We can do that.
The only movies I
So,
like.
Let's all be miserable.
Yeah.
The only movies that I liked that had that thing is the
Wreck.
VHS.
Wreck was good.
Yeah, Wreck was good. Wreck 2, VHS 1, 2.
What was that? What was that Wreck like ripoff? Quarantine or something.
Yeah, it was the American remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadow. No, not What We Do in the Yeah, What We Do in the Shadow.
Oh yeah, that's the. Can we review that movie? That's one of the best horror movies I've ever
Oh
seen.
yeah, it is. It is. It's comedy horror. Do you ever see it?
Oh my
Gary?
god.
No. I know what
Oh.
you're talking about, though. I just haven't watched it yet.
Dude,
Like
it-
like Bill showed me that movie, and like I didn't really get it, but then like later on I rewatched it on like Amazon, and I fucking one of the hardest gut laughs I've ever had. It's from that movie.
Yeah, it's the guy Taika Waititi. He's the guy that did Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of the guys from that Flight of the Condor on it.
Fly the Conchords, yeah, Jermaine Clement.
Hmm. I feel like if there was ever a Ghostbusters remake, he should do that.
Hey, they're having a TV show of What We Do in the Shadows. It's gonna be on FX.
Oh yeah, it's going to be about the
American,
cops.
the American. No, there's one's gonna be just like the movie, the vampires and stuff, but it's gonna be the American version. And then they're also doing a spin-off called Paranormal something.
Yeah, it's about the cops,
That's the one with the cops. And then I'm pretty
which
sure.
I would be more akin to watch really.
And then they are also working on the sequel to What We Do in the Shadows. It's called Werewolves.
Oh, it's a pun. It's called Werewolves. Yeah. And that was like one of the best parts, like when the vampires meet up with the werewolves next to the river.
Oh yeah.
Count Fagula.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yeah, werewolves, not swearwolves.
I like how they all had Adidas tracksuits. Like,
Oh, I know. It's like you think you're gonna wear that? You know how big you get when you turn into a werewolf.
yeah, they were so considerate of each other. They were real bros.
Yeah. Yeah. Put that on your list, Carrie. What we do in the shadows.
All right.
Oh, it's so dry. Like if you love like The Office, at the very least, you're gonna love that movie.
Oh look, a ghost cup. Oh, my favorite part is when they're arguing about the dishes.
Which time? Well, like when the cops show up,
The
and they
first
like put
time.
that spell.
Where they're
Oh.
like, correct.
Oh my god, yeah, they had Vlad, the poker, and he's just like casually just, why don't we get some slaves?
Yeah. Oh, I wish we could talk. Oh, we'll talk more about once Carrie sees it, and then we can review it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I totally ruined like 2 jokes there. I'm sorry.
We might as well just ruin the whole movie for you, man.
Yeah.
No, well, that's the punchline, but the context is equally important.
What's another good found footage movie that I walked out on Hardcore Henry. It made me sick.
Oh yeah, I watched Hardcore Henry. That's not found footage. I think it's just like first person or POV.
Yeah, it made me puke. Or it almost made me puke.
I kind of like that movie. It's the kind of movie. It's not great. Let me put that out there. It's the kind of movie that I wanted to make when I was in high school. That was the movie that I always wanted to make. Like you watch all these movies and you have all these grand ideas, but you have like $4 in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's the kind of movie that like I wanted to make. Like super action packed, super nonsensical, just fucking BS the whole time. It was great.
Yeah, see, Rec 1 and 2, VHS 1 and 2. We do the shadows.
Have you seen the last broadcast?
No.
It's supposedly the movie that they stole the idea from to do the Blair Witch.
What was it?
It's the last broadcast. It's about a film crew that go out into the to go find the Jersey Devil. Like they're investigating the Jersey Devil.
And they just walk out in the woods and find the situation.
Yeah, it's all but it's found footage, and so it apparently supposedly they made it before the Blair Witch, and everybody says that the Blair Witch stole their idea from this one.
They might have. Hey, I also didn't mind Blair Witch, the guys that did Your Next, their right sequel to the Blair Witch.
Oh, Book of
No, not
Secrets,
that.
or-
No, not that one. No, the
You're
other
talking
one.
about the
2014 one, I think. Or 15.
Oh, it was just called The Blair Witch.
Yeah, it was just called Blair Witch. I thought that was okay. I remember, it was crazy because it had a fake title called The Woods. And, they had, a trailer didn't really show much, and it was saying like it was good marketing in a way because it was saying like fucking scariest movie ever. Just I was like, how many times have I heard that? But
yeah, didn't the Evil Dead remake do that too? Like on the posters, like this is the scariest experience you'll ever see, or something like that.
yeah, it was one of the most brutal experiences I've ever seen in a long time. Evil Dead. But I don't know about you fellas. I am pretty tired. I'm gonna call this a night.
Yep, I gotta get up early tomorrow, so.
And with that, if you guys would like, go ahead and throw something in the little tip jar we call Patreon. Help us out on the episodes.
Yes. Buy a t-shirt or a coffee mug.
Or by both. Drink your coffee while you're wearing your sexy shirt.
And let me grab this list right here. And let me mention all of our current Patreons. The Grimm and Poe Podcast.
Yay. And also, we're on iTunes now, so if you could go over there and give us a good rating, some good comments, that'll really help us out.
And thank you for listening to us. We really greatly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
You know, we like just bullshitting around, talking about horror movies, either making fun of it, or saying it's awesome, how much we love it. We just like bullshitting with each other, talking about movies.
And we will do this again next week.
Bye, everybody.
Later.